Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the English reading of the Holy Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We are busy with Surah number 2, verse 221. Do not marry unbelieving women, the idolaters or the polytheists, until they believe. A slave woman who believes is better than an unbelieving woman, even though she allure you. Nor marry your girls to unbelievers until they believe. A man-slave who believes is better than an unbeliever, even though he allure you. Unbelievers do but beckon you to the fire, but Allah beckons by His grace to the garden of bliss and forgiveness, and makes His signs clear to mankind, that they may celebrate His praise. They ask you concerning women's causes. Say, they are a hurt and a pollution. So keep away from women in their causes, and do not approach them until they are clean. But when they have purified themselves, you may approach them in any manner, time, or place ordained for you by Allah. For Allah loves those who turn to Him constantly, and He loves those who keep themselves pure and clean. It is amongst many other verses and ahadith, that Muslims are amongst the most hygienic and clean people, because they are obsessed with cleanliness and removal of unwanted hair, brushing the teeth regularly, having regular baths, and so on. Your wives are a tilth unto you, so approach your tilth when or how you will, but do some good act for your souls beforehand, and fear Allah, and know that you are to meet Him in the hereafter, and give these good tidings to those who believe. And make not Allah's name an excuse in your oaths against doing good or acting rightly, or making peace between persons, for Allah is one who hears and knows all things. Allah will not call you to account for thoughtlessness in your oaths, but for the intention in your hearts, and He is oft forgiving, most forbearing. For those who take an oath for abstention from their wives, a waiting for 4 months is ordained. If then they return, Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. Allah is Ghafurur Rahim. But if their intention is firm for divorce, Allah hears and knows all things. Divorced women shall wait concerning themselves for 3 monthly periods, 3 menstrual cycles, nor is it lawful for them to hide what Allah has created in their wombs, if they have faith in Allah and the last day. And their husbands have the better right to take them back in that period, if they wish for reconciliation. And women shall have rights similar to the rights against them, according to what is equitable. But men have a degree of advantage over them, and Allah is exalted in power, wise, Azizul Hakim. A divorce is only permissible twice. After that, the parties should either hold together on equitable terms or separate with kindness. It is not lawful for you men to take back any of your gifts from your wives, except when both parties fear that they will be unable to keep the limits ordained by Allah. If you judges do indeed fear that they would be unable to keep the limits ordained by Allah, there is no blame on either of them if she gives something for her freedom. These are the limits ordained by Allah. So, do not transgress them. If any do transgress the limits ordained by Allah, such persons wrong themselves as well as others. So, if a husband divorces his wife irrevocably, he cannot after that remarry her until after she has married another husband and he, the new husband, has divorced her. In that case, there is no blame on either of them if they reunite, provided they feel that they can keep the limits ordained by Allah. Such are the limits ordained by Allah, which He makes plain to those who understand. When you divorce women and they fulfill the term of their iddat, either take them back on equitable terms or set them free on equitable terms. But do not take them back to injure them or to take undue advantage. If anyone does that, he wrongs his own soul. Do not treat Allah's signs as a jest or as a joke, but solemnly rehearse Allah's favors on you and the fact that He sent down to you the book and wisdom for your instruction. And fear Allah and know that Allah is well acquainted with all things. When you divorce women and they fulfill the term of the iddat, do not prevent them from marrying their former husbands if they mutually agree on equitable terms. This instruction is for all among you who believe in Allah and the last day. That is the cause making for most virtue and purity among you, and Allah knows, and you know not. The mothers shall give suck to their offspring for 2 whole years, if the father desires to complete the term, but he shall bear the cost of their food and clothing on equitable terms. No soul shall have a burden laid on it greater than it can bear. This is a general statement that can be used in many, many ways, right? No soul shall have a burden laid on it greater than it can bear. No mother shall be treated unfairly on account of her child, nor father on account of his child. An heir shall be chargeable in the same way if they both decide on weaning by mutual consent and after due consultation. There is no blame on them. If you decide on a foster mother for your offspring, there is no blame on you, provided you pay the mother what you offered on equitable terms. But fear Allah and know that Allah sees well what you do. If any of you die and leave widows behind, they should wait concerning themselves 4 months and 10 days. When they have fulfilled their term, there is no blame on you if they dispense of themselves in a just and reasonable manner. And Allah is well acquainted with what you do. There is no blame on you if you make an offer of betrothal or hold it in your hearts. Allah knows that you cherish them in your hearts. But do not make a secret contract with them except in terms honorable, nor resolve on the tie of marriage till the term prescribed is fulfilled. And know that Allah knows what is in your hearts, and take heed of Him. And know that Allah is oft forgiving, most forbearing. There is no blame on you if you divorce women before consummation or the fixation of their dower, but bestow on them a suitable gift, the wealthy according to his means, and the poor according to his means. A gift of a reasonable amount is due from those who wish to do the right thing. And if you divorce them before consummation, but after the fixation of a dower for them, then the half of the dower is due to them, unless they remit it, or the man's half is remitted by him, in whose hands is the marriage tie. And the remission of the man's half is the nearest to righteousness. And do not forget liberality between yourselves, for Allah sees well all that you do. Join me in the next episode as we continue with the English reading of the Holy Quran. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.